Cameras are very much a part of today's digital society. Today, photogrammetric techniques can be used on a variety of devices. Smartphones are everyday items used as autonomous tools for capturing and processing three-dimensional data. Data capture. Practical example of photogrammetry with smartphone. In this example, video or photographic data capture will be carried out using a smartphone terminal to subsequently process the data using a mobile application and obtain a point cloud and a polygonal mesh. Smartphone applications enable capture and processing using the camera and the power of the device. Videogrammetry is a technique for capturing three-dimensional data, which uses video as a support for virtual reconstruction. In order to be performed correctly, an element must be engraved in an orderly and coherent manner with slow enveloping zigzag movements. Data processing. iCloud 3D has an online library where you can deposit your creations and view other users' 3D models. Data collection must be carried out before starting the process with a choice between photometry and videogrammetry. Photogrammetry maximum of 50 photographs and videogrammetry where several videos can be joined together without exceeding 1 minute of total recording. After the processing time has elapsed, we will obtain a point cloud and polygonal mesh of the captured element. There is a drop-down panel with multiple tools for annotation, measurement, and editing of the point and polygonal resource. This smartphone-supported application acquires great versatility, being very useful for architectural and engineering work. One of the most useful tools is the Notes tool, which makes it possible to mark and explain the status of specific points in the model. Another important tool is the Modify tool, which allows us to make selections of polygons and points to be removed and clean up the model. It is also possible to visualize the polygon mesh and work on it in the same way. Camera. Practical example of object photogrammetry with a camera. In this exercise, we will proceed to photographically capture a space using a camera, teaching the necessary movements for capturing photographs and subsequently processing them in the reality caption program, from which we will obtain a point cloud and a polygonal mesh. Space capture. In order to capture the desired area, the technician can make several movements, taking at least one photograph for each step. In this example, we observe a parallel rectilinear path of several photographic shots per station. Another movement, which is possible in data capture, are orbits around the target surface. In this example, we observe a parabola. Reality capture processing. Reality capture is an affordable and versatile software that allows you to combine three-dimensional data obtained by camera, drone, and laser scanner in a single project. We insert the captured photographs into the program. Select the alignment option in the upper panel and click on Align Images. Wait until the point cloud calculation process is finished. The icons represented on the 3D screen are the locations and orientation of the photographs. In the central left panel, we can see different categories, such as the inserted photographs, the registered control points, or the photographs that the model has used for processing. In the Mesh Model option in the upper panel, click on Normal Detail and then on Texture, obtaining this result. In photogrammetry, what is not seen is not documented, which is why it is important to first analyze the area and then the photographs themselves when capturing the data. In the photogrammetric model, it is possible to find residual reconstructions generated by few points. As they have not been the target of capture, are deformation and texture blurring, this can't be removed. If the result is not as expected, you can return to the site to capture new data. After having returned to the site and captured new photographs with a total of 193 photographs, we start the process again. Divide the layout into 5 segments. Select each smaller screen and categorize them by making them in colors. Ctrl+1, Ctrl+2, Ctrl+3, Ctrl+4. We proceed to insert the images to look for easily recognizable common points and mark them manually, such as a marking, a nail, or a crack. We repeat the process, creating more control points with a greater number of common photographs. The more control points with minimal error, the better the results of the alignment. Align the images and we obtain the point cloud. As we can see, the ground contains the highest number of points. We use the Set Reconstruction Region tool to delimit the area of interest we want to process and press the Mesh Model Normal Detail option. It is possible to apply different tools on the mesh, such as simplifying it, smoothing it, or closing holes. If no corrections are made, we proceed to texturing. Object Capture. Practical example of object photogrammetry with a camera. In this exercise, we will proceed to photographically capture an object with a camera, taking 360 degrees photographs of it and processing this data using the reality capture program, from which we will obtain a point cloud and a polygonal mesh. Data capture. The object to be captured must be completely still while the technician makes enveloping movements around it and takes pictures. It is advisable to take one photographic capture per step around the object. Processing with reality capture. Insert the captured image into the program and repeat the process, selecting the Align option, and then, if the result is correct, create the mesh in normal detail. It is possible to observe the circular path taken to capture the object at different distances and camera tilt. We will proceed to delete the parts of the model that we do not need. This will help the process to be carried out more quickly. The results of the model have been satisfactory and the program has succeeded in aligning and creating the model without the help of control points. Finally, if no correction is required, we add the texture to our model to be able to export it later. Reality Capture is a processing program for point cloud data. It has a user guide and a YouTube channel with various tutorials.